Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So on the agenda tonight we have the Grateful Dead, and this is going to be coming from 1976 and it's going to be their performance of Franklin's Tower. So let's get Jerry and the gang up on screen and see how they get on.
Wildflower seed on a sand stone. May the pop winds roll you safely home. Roll away, do. Roll away, do. Roll away, do. Roll away, do.
I'm just going to jump in here because this is such a cool laid-back performance, but it's misleading because they are so on the ball throughout the whole performance, even though it's coming across, especially with Jerry's vocal, just so relaxed, such a great, easy vocal and easy to listen to. A great storytelling vocal as well, and the amount of work that they've put into this in order to get it to sound easy and just easy to listen to, so we can all sit back and appreciate the sound that's actually being made, but the amount of work behind the scenes that they've all put in to get this down, get it so tight. And we've got Phil Lesh on bass as well, laying down some really solid bass lines. He's got that tennis headband on with a BMW shirt, so I guess that was the 70s, but they're all pulling together in that one direction, and that's a rare thing for a band, especially when you've got a band that are maybe a few more than a four-piece and maybe 6 and 7 members, to get them all on the same page, pulling in the same direction and pulling in that direction for the good of the composition is a rare thing. And this is what Grateful Dead are all about, just really coming together and giving you that great product. You actually realize there's some mind-blowing stuff going on here, especially with Jerry with his lead guitar. Listen to this tone that he's got. In every video I've seen, he's had such an unforgiving tone, and the reason that he can have that tone is because of his ability on the fretboard. He's not one of these guys that's going to have to rely on loads of effects to get the sound across, and that was very much the sound that he's going for, to really get this understated, easy to listen to. Again, if he was absolutely murdering the notes on the fretboard, it's not going to be easy to listen to. When he does play, it might fly under the radar because he makes it look so easy and plays so melodically. It's just part of the track, and you just come to expect a great melodic solo coming off that fretboard. He really does focus on the major, that major scale and those major orientated lead lines, because sometimes the tendency can be to get into that minor key, get into a little bit of blues, but the way that Jerry throws it all together, and he does go a little bit chromatic in places as well, which just gives it that really cool, easy vibe. The way that he throws together these chromatic lines, just great to mix it up like that, in amongst all that major scale in there as well. But then those little tweaks towards blues and minor, he just has so much in his arsenal in terms of where he goes on the guitar. But let's get back into it.
England's town, England's a baby. It can ring, turn night to day. Ring like fire if you lose your way. Roll away, do. Roll away, do. Roll away, do. You better roll away, do. God save the child who rings them. Have one good ring, baby, you can tell. One watch by night, one watch by day. If you get confused, listen to the music play. Some come to life that passed away. Some come to make it just one more day. Whichever way your pleasure takes. You play nice, you're gonna harvest wind. Roll away, do. Roll away, do.
I'm just going to jump in here because this is the kind of track that can just roll on forever because it's such a great easy groove, and we've got that lead vocal, but then totally taking away the lead vocal, we've then got that voice of the lead guitar, and just literally swapping between that lead vocal and the lead guitar that Jerry just is able to throw out there. The other thing is that we've got these harmony parts, and what I love about vocals and harmony parts is that it adds so much to a track. And when there's a female vocal in there as well, it really does open up the sound and gives you something totally different vocally than you otherwise have in a male-orientated band. It really gives it some depth. Of course, you've got to have musicians that can pull that kind of thing off, just singing in harmony with each other, but it is so good. It's just really taking the track and the composition to a deeper level because you've got now something melodic and harmonious about the lead vocal as well as the instruments playing in the background. Just a quick word on Jerry's guitars because he has some cool custom guitars made. On the last video I did of Jerry on this channel, he was playing his Tiger. It's later than this video, but this is 76. So this would have been around the time that he had Wolf, and these guitars were made by Doug Irwin. And I think he isn't playing Wolf here. It might be that he's gone for the Travis Bean guitar in this particular performance because his Wolf guitar did get knocked around a lot on tour, and this was actually a radio show, so maybe it was away being repaired in the shop, but certainly this does look like a Travis Bean guitar from the headstock that we can see. But his guitars, just check them out if you get a chance because really cool designs, and he had so much put into them. He really did know what he wanted from his guitars and from the sound and exactly how to get that out of every custom guitar that he had made. While I'm talking about those guitars, Tiger and Wolf in particular, when Jerry died, the ownership of those guitars came into question, and Jerry had actually left them to Doug Irwin, the guy who actually made them, whereas the band members said that they owned those guitars because it was part of the band. And that actually went to court. All these things tend to go to court all the time in music. And it was found that actually they were left in the will to Doug Irwin. So he got those guitars. Unfortunately, Doug was the victim of a hit and run, and he lost almost everything. He was almost penniless. But from these guitars, he then managed to auction them off. So when these guitars were auctioned off in 2002, Wolf fetched $790,000 and Tiger got $950,000, around that kind of mark. So together we're looking at $1.74 million, and that was a new world record. Getting things up to date, just 2 years ago in 2017, the owner of Wolf put it up for a charity auction, and that fetched $1.9 million. So it has increased in value by over $1 million in that time from 2002 to 2017. So that's a pretty good investment. It really does put into focus how well respected Jerry was as a guitar player, not only in the industry and other players, but also the fans and the people that will pay this kind of money just to get their hands on these iconic guitars that have been played by such an iconic player. Like I mentioned earlier, I think it was Rolling Stone magazine that placed him at number 13 in the top 100 players of all time. So once you've got a guy that is that well known and that well respected, his guitars are really going to fetch some serious money. And it's great that in that last auction a couple of years ago, that's for charity as well. But a great laid back performance here from the Dead, and it comes across that way because it is so well executed and rehearsed, and it works so well together with everyone playing their parts seamlessly, interlinking with each other. And of course we've got Jerry absolutely nailing down those classic lines on his fretboard. And Jerry was actually introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the Grateful Dead in 1994. Just watch some of the videos on YouTube, because then you'll get a flavour of his guitar playing over the years, and just see how many times he changed it up and had so many different avenues that he could go down with his playing. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!